Bedford was one of the original hotspots for the Delta variant, with a spring surge in cases, but they've fallen 40% in the last 3 weeks, to the relief of residents.
I feel better that the number of people who are having vaccinations are going up all the time.
It's good that it's in Bedford going down, but we just want everywhere to just go back to normal.
Everyone should be doing their bit, really, to keep away from each other as much as possible.
Analysis by Sky News shows the tide is also turning in other towns that had high infection rates, like Bolton and Blackburn. Younger age groups, shown here in light blue and yellow, led the upward surge in recent weeks, but infection rates are now starting to fall. Behaviour change may be one reason, with a 6% drop in people visiting public spaces in Blackburn and Darwin over the last 2 weeks of available data. But ramping up vaccinations also helped, with many more doses being given in Bolton and Blackburn compared to other areas, to slow the spread of the virus. The virus is increasingly coming up against a wall of immunity as more of us have had the vaccine or a previous infection with COVID. While cases are bubbling up, there aren't enough people still vulnerable to the infection to sustain the surge. The Health Secretary has said he's encouraged by the latest data, with hospitalisations and deaths remaining relatively low. This public health expert says even the risk of long COVID is unlikely to sway the government from relaxing lockdown.
I personally think that the government are heading for herd immunity strategy without actually naming it that. And at the same time, they're aiming for all over 18s to be vaccinated. And they're hoping that if you've got healthy people who are getting the COVID infection, they're not going to hopefully end up in hospital, and therefore death rates will remain low.
You come for your first Pfizer, yeah? OK.
Virologists who've tracked the virus through 2 waves already are increasingly hopeful this time round. Cases are no longer rising exponentially, and this professor says they may even level off this week.
I'm a lot more optimistic, and I'm quite confident that we are going to have a much better summer this year than we had last year, and I think that is down to the really impressive success we've had with the vaccines.
If the abrupt downturn in cases in the hotspots is mirrored nationally, then the third wave may turn out to be more of a ripple. Rare good news in the long pandemic. Thomas Moore, Sky News in Bedford.